Zipper, my friend, exit. Zipperman, you need to exit the garden. You cannot go for my pumpkin. No, no. Zipper, exit. Exit. We may have just avoided an epic garden disaster. Let me show you. I didn't water this section of my garden in this corner, my creeping time slope, for about 36 hours. And let me show you what happened. We just had a surge in temperatures up to about 33 degrees Celsius after having no hot temperatures for quite a while. Very few. This is my nectarine tree, totally drooped. I just gave it a very deep emergency watering. And my cucumber plants, I'm so sad. I'm hoping they're gonna bounce back. It's only been about 5 minutes since they got watered very deeply, so fingers crossed that these plants make a comeback. I think I'm gonna pick, oh, there's actually 3 of them. I thought there were 2. There's one here, and one over here. I was thinking of picking this one to give the plant a little bit less stress, and I think I'm gonna do that. It's not that big, but hopefully having less vegetables on the vines will give them a better chance of survival. Really want these guys to survive, but we will see what happens. This variety of cucumber is very spiny, but we are going to pick it and I'm going to eat it raw. But not without removing the spines first. Here is the first cucumber of the 2023 growing season. Very spiny. Just munching on my cucumber now. So delicious, nice and juicy, not bitter not at all bitter despite the devastation that almost occurred, and very flavorful. Give it a 10 out of 10 for the start of the cucumber season. Time to harvest. So this is my little berry harvest. I could have kept picking for a long time, but I prefer to eat my fruit fresh and not frozen or processed. So I just pick what I will eat within less than 24 hours. On to harvest number 2, right here. We're going to attempt to harvest carrots tonight. I don't have any carrots left in the kitchen, so I thought this was a great time to see how the carrots are doing. I don't know if we're gonna harvest them all, but we're going to give it a shot, see how big they are and how much success we had this season. Carrot number 1, not bad. Well formed, small to medium size, but I'll take it. Our second carrot is a dual carrot, very small, but I'm sure it'll be delicious. Carrot number 3, not bad. Ooh, carrot number 4 is plump. I like that. So here is my little carrot harvest. I would call this a baby carrot harvest. The carrots, for the most part, are on the smaller side. There's a few mediums, but most are small or tiny, and they will definitely be delicious. I am going to eat these raw. I prefer most vegetables raw as opposed to cooked. And I'm still contemplating if I should use these carrot greens in a dish. There's so much greenery here, otherwise they'll get composted, but I'm thinking of cooking something with them. If you have any awesome carrot top recipes, please leave them in the comments down below and I'll check them out. I would really love to learn some new recipes to use these greens because there's such an abundance. Zipper, my friend, exit. Zipper in. You need to exit the garden. You cannot go for my pumpkin. No, no. Zipper, exit. Exit. Supervisor has arrived into the vegetable garden. He wants to check out my potato. Oh no, he's going for pumpkin Big Macs. This is very bad news. Zipper, no. Hey, Zipper, you can't be in here. You're going to destroy my plants. Zipper. Hey, exit the garden. You gotta exit. That one isn't as precious, but I wouldn't like you to eat it. Exit, Mr. Z. Zipper, exit. He's standing right on the potatoes I wanted to harvest, right on top of the plants. Which is fine, except he's trying to eat my other squash plant right now. This is what's happening. And he is not listening to me. Zipper, you need to exit. Exit! Hey, you've had enough squash plants. Exit the garden, please. Zipper, you are very stubborn. Don't go for pumpkin Big Macs. You'll be in big trouble, mister. Exit. Speaking of pumpkin Big Macs, we've got this and this happening. I don't know if these are going to survive, if they were pollinated, or if they're going to fall off, but there is possibly potential here. If this guy doesn't cause any troubles. Hey! He's on a roll of being bad. Zipper, you need to exit. This is not funny anymore. You need to exit the garden. Don't be eating random things. You made a good debut. It's time to leave, sir. Exit the garden, mister. Back to potato harvesting. Out. Get out of the garden. He is trying really hard to go for my pumpkin Big Macs, and this is not okay. You need to exit. Zipper, go get a cookie. Let's go have raspberry cookies. Would you like a cookie treat? Come on. Zipper in. He also got into my carrots when I wasn't looking. No surprise there. He's been eating them. Looks like he had quite the snack when I wasn't looking from my carrot bowl. Naughty guy. Here is some of my in-ground potatoes. What? Next, we are bean picking from my lovely climbing beans. We have two varieties, but only one is ready for picking. We have some kind of a green bean, and we have a purple bean that is now ready for picking. Here are these gorgeous dark purple beans. This is my second time growing these. And the unique quality about these beans is when they are cooked, they actually go a much more green color. but I'll appreciate the purple while it's here. The more I pick, the more I see on the bush. I didn't know there were this many out here already. And the cool thing about beans is legitimately they really respond well to harvesting. Like the more you can get them off the vines, the more of an abundant crop you're gonna have. They just keep blooming and blooming and producing and producing. They're a pretty amazing vegetable to grow. Here's my first bean harvest of 2023. Not bad for harvest number 1. We are outside the vegetable garden now, and I'm going to give you an update on those cucumbers I probably showed a little earlier in this video. This is my first time growing outside of the garden. This is my creeping thyme slope, and in the first clip you would have seen they would have been very wilted. That was from yesterday. I gave them a very hard watering, same with my nectarine tree, and look at them now. If I didn't show the previous clip, you may never have known that they were so wilted and almost dead. The cucumbers are still doing okay. There's one here. And another one here. I did pick and eat that one, which I probably showed you already. And that's how they're doing. Nectarine tree has rebounded really well from its stress. Here is what was my potato jungle mixed with tomatoes and raspberries, but mostly potatoes in the section closest to the border, as well as inland a little bit. And we're doing a massive potato harvest today. I don't know if you can tell, but a lot of the plants are pretty much leaned over. Some of it's because of supervisors, some of it is just because that's the way that they were headed to lean over. So I'm assuming that there should be some ready to harvest under all of this greenery. We're gonna dig right in and find out. We're pulling out the greens first. Hopefully I don't get too much dirt on my camera because it is right in the dirt, literally. I couldn't find a good place for the tripod to sit on, so we went right for the dirt. Pull out as many of these plants as possible. Oh, there's lots of potatoes coming out of the ground now. Try to hold the camera with one hand and harvest with the other. This can get tricky sometimes, but let's see how this works out. Still pulling out some of these plants. And we're gonna dig right into this area and see how many potatoes are in here. I know there's many more plants to pull. That's a nice potato. Right here. Another plant to pull here. We've got both golden potatoes and red potatoes in here. These are the ones I planted this season. These are not volunteers from the previous year. My tomato plant is cascading into the garden from my container, so I'm going to try not to damage it. Lift it up a little bit from the vegetable plot. And here is lemon balm growing in my garden, and I am pulling it out because there is way too much of it. As well as another potato plant in the mix, or a couple more potato plants in the mix. Let's keep on hunting for treasure. Ooh, not bad. Ooh, these are beauties. I'm gonna keep on going here and I'll catch up with you when we're done. This is the footage that I would normally edit out of my videos. I just threw some potato plants and they landed right smack on my tripod. Gonna be a nice dirty tripod for me. Look who just joined in. We are now going to pull out the potato plant that has been encroaching on my pumpkin Big Macs for quite some time. Actually, I think it might be 2 or 3 potato plants in the mix right beside pumpkin Big Macs. So we're gonna go for them and see how this plays out. Hopefully we don't disturb the pumpkin plant at all. Lots of weeds in here too, which would probably help out my pumpkin Big Macs, getting rid of those. And this potato plant right here is going crazy. You have been evicted, my friend. Actually, there's probably more than that in here, maybe 4 or 5 at least. Ooh, not bad. Some nice ones in this area. Oh, it must be all that fertilizer I've been feeding pumpkin Big Macs went right to the potatoes. These are good-sized potatoes. Here's a little look at the space I just cleared out of my vegetable garden where the potatoes were growing. My garden is slightly less jungle-like with that cleared out. And in this space, I'm going to be replanting some salad greens because the reality is I eat more salad greens than any other vegetables. Here's a look at the space I just cleared out where pumpkin Big Macs lives. This plant is going to have so much extra growing room, it's not going to know what to do with itself. I'm so happy for it. Here are the results of my potato harvest. I'm very happy with this. There's some pretty good sized spuds in here. And I did notice that all of my really good sized potatoes, they were all growing very close to my pumpkin Big Mac. I have to attribute the size difference in potatoes to the fact that I have really fertilized pumpkin Big Macs and I never let pumpkin Big Mac. I have several more potato plants growing in my new garden section that are growing in soil mixed with cedar bark mulch. I did not harvest those today. We're going to save those for much later in the season and we'll see how they do. I did find one mystery stray garlic during my potato pulling, so that was a nice bonus. Thank you so much for watching today's harvest and garden update. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe if you'd love to see more similar videos in the future. I hope you're having a lovely day, evening, night, wherever you are, and we will see you soon in another video. Bye for now. Boom! It is the next day. We have warped through some kind of black hole and we are in the future now. I have a super exciting development to share with you. I did not discover this until today, and let me tell you, it involves spoons. But yes, this is garden related. It is right behind me in my garden, and let's go take a look. We are entering the backside of the vegetable garden. Here is Supervisor doing his garden checks. And we are headed right to my tomato plants. I have a few different varieties here. These plants were all grown from seed in DIY greenhouses. And the seeds that I used were from one of my absolutely awesome coworkers. Susan, if you're watching this, thank you for the seeds. These were all from Susan's seeds. These are a very special type of tomato. They are called spoon tomatoes. And they look like they are ripe. I have not tried these yet. So we're gonna pick a whole cluster and give them a try. Right here. Introducing my spoon tomatoes. I now understand why these tomatoes are called spoon tomatoes. Let me give you a demonstration. Here I have my classic measuring spoons. We have a 5 ml, 1 teaspoon spoon right here. And here is one of my spoon tomatoes. See if the camera will focus a little better. I don't know how well the focus is here, but that is the size of a spoon tomato. This is a teaspoon. It is so tiny and so cute. I don't know what to say. These tomatoes remind me of something out of a fairy garden. They are so adorable. Let's give these super adorable tomatoes a little taste test. A little disclaimer on my tomato taste test. I am someone who normally does not like raw tomatoes at all. There has only been one cherry tomato that I've ever had. It was exceptionally sweet that I actually enjoyed. Every other tomato that I've had raw is really not my thing. In a salad, it might be okay. In a burger, it might be okay. In a cooked dish, it would definitely be good. In a pasta sauce, it would be delightful. But raw tomatoes are not typically my thing. So we're gonna see how these guys stack up. I'm going to share with you my thoughts on this single spoon tomato coming from someone who does not love tomatoes raw. Okay, it is typical tomato to me. I'm getting some acid, definitely typical tomato flavor. I think for any standard tomato, it's delicious, it's juicy, tastes very similar to most tomatoes to me. So as a regular tomato, it probably gets a pretty high score, and for adorableness, it gets a 10 out of 10. I can't be a good judge of taste because I'm not a tomato. I'm not someone who eats raw tomatoes and enjoys them I'm not someone who eats raw tomatoes and actually enjoys them on the everyday basis. So I will give it a very high score for cuteness, and I'll definitely eat these, but probably not raw. I'm gonna do something with them. But we're gonna give our little supervisor man a taste test. Here he is. He has arrived He's arrived for his taste test. Zipper, come here. You are tasting a spoon tomato today, Zipper. Have a seat. Zipper, sit down. Let's go a little further back, Mr. Z. Zipper, sit down. We gotta zoom out a little bit. We're too close. You're too close to the camera, Zipper. They can't see you. He is ready for his taste test. His very first spoon tomato. Let me just double check that he didn't spit it out. I don't think he spat it out. I think he likes these. We're gonna give him another one and see what his reaction is. I'm pretty sure he likes them. Zipper. Whoops, we're not giving you a green one. You're not gonna like the greens. Zipper. Another spoon tomato for you, sir. I do think he likes these. He accidentally dropped it, but he picked it up and is eating it again. One more. Zipper, one more spoon tomato for you, sir. Zipper, one more spoon tomato for you. Well, my conclusion from my supervisor's taste test is that he definitely is enjoying the spoon tomatoes. They are really the perfect size for him. He used to love cherry tomatoes when he was younger, and I didn't grow any this year, but I did grow spoon tomatoes. So I think he's going to be delighting in the spoon tomato harvest. He has now decided to sweeten his palate with some raspberries. Actually, no. He's eating kale. I thought he was eating my raspberries, but he went straight for the kale plant. Or is it cabbage? He's either eating kale or cabbage right now. I'm not 100% certain, but he's really going for it right after eating the tomato. I don't know what that means.